Okay, so in this video, I'm going to do a complete review of the Xebex air bike. All right, I'm going to tell you everything about it, what I like, and also what I dislike about this type of bike. But let's get into the review. One quick thing though, before we begin, be sure to subscribe and also like if you found this video useful. And then you can also check out my website, hometraininggym.com, for a little bit more about assault bikes and air bikes and things like that, on the benefits and also how to use one. So be sure to check that out as well. I'll have the link down below in the description. But now let's get into the Xebex air bike review. Alright, so starting with the bottom. So if you were to flip it, one way. So if I were to flip it up here, one thing you'll notice are these little pads right here. So what you can do is actually you can twist them up and down. So if you have an uneven surface, you can twist it up and down to make the bike even. So if it wobbles or something like that, you know, like a table, basically like a table, you know, it starts to wobble, so you place a book or a piece of paper or something like that underneath it to keep it from doing that. That's the same thing with this, except for you don't have to use a book or anything. You can just twist these little knob things right here up and down to make it even. So that's one thing that's really awesome about this bike. And then it's also made of rubber, so it doesn't move. So once you have it, it doesn't move back and forth or side to side, and so it's real sturdy and durable. So that's the big thing about this type of bike, is that it's really sturdy and really durable. All right, so that's the bottom part. Next thing would be these wheels right here in the front. So on the wheels in the front, what it allows you to do, so if you remove the handles directly in line, you can lift up and then you can move it. So I can move it back and forth, and then I can turn it however I want to do it. So that's real easy to maneuver around. So if you need to just move it to a certain spot, real simple to do. So that'll be kind of the wheels. They're attached in the front. So it's not attached to the fan or anything like that. It's attached to the base of the bike. So that's a really awesome thing to have. So moving on to the seat. A couple things with the seat. So a few differences that probably compared to other seats is, one, this seat actually moves back and forth and also up and down, and then you can kind of tilt the seat from side to side. So if I were to take the seat and then gotta really crank it out there we go, really tight, but I can move it forward and backwards. So that's one thing. So if you want to be farther away from the handles or closer, you can move the seat closer or farther away. Either one works, and then you'll just twist it tight again, and boom, done with that piece. Same thing with twisting it up and down. Just twist the handle here, and then once you get to a good spot, twist it, pull it out. You can adjust it and then twist it back so it's nice and sturdy that way. All right, so that's two things that's really big on compared to some other bikes. I know on the Schwinn Airdyne, some of those models were not able to. I've been on one, and I was not able to move the seat back and forth. I can move it up and down, but I wasn't able to move it back and forth. So if you're really close to the handles, you can move the seat back, be farther away, or you can move it forward and be a little bit closer if you need to be that. All right, so that's a big key feature on it. Moving on to the pedals. Pedals, I think they're made of a little bit of rubber on the top. So right here, they're pretty much plastic on the pedal piece, but on top, on both top and bottom, I guess, they're made of rubber, so you're not going to really slip too much. If I were to try and push my foot forward or backwards, you're not going to slip that much out of them. You can get different pedals if you need them to kind of have those mountain bikes or something like that, where you can put it and you can slide your foot in and it stays. But as far as, I mean, it pretty much stays. So there's not really anything bad about it. I can't really find anything bad about the pedal part. It stays. It's made of plastic, so that's pretty much the pedal piece, and it's actually attached to the handle. So whenever the pedal moves, handle moves. All right. So you can either do upper body or just lower body if you want to just use the pedals to do it. So those are a couple cool things about the pedal piece. As far as everything on the frames and stuff goes, it's all made of metal. So everything's pretty much made of metal, frame, handles, all this stuff, aluminum, and then these frames right here, all made of metal, so it's extremely durable bike, so it won't break down on you or anything like that. It has a chain. I'll try and show you the chain in just a second, but it's connected by a chain whenever you start to move the pedals and the handles. All right, so I know on the Schwinn Airdyne that I was on, it was a fan belt, and fan belt kept breaking every single time you try to go real hard. So that was one thing that kind of sucked about that part. But this one is on a chain. I've been using this for over 6 months or so. I pretty much go hard a lot of the time whenever I do intervals and things like that. So you can go as hard as you want. And I mean, it's not breaking down or anything. So that's really nice about it. That's a huge thing too, is if you're gonna pay a lot of money for something, you wanna make sure it lasts for a while. This bike will surely do that. As far as you can go as hard as you want, long, anything you want to do. So that's something really good about it. Another thing are these pegs right here. So on the pegs, like I said, if you just want to do only arms, pegs are made of metal, and they also have a little bit of grip to them, so you won't just slide completely off or anything. But you can just use the arms just like that. So you can rest your feet. If you're doing intervals, you can go hard, and then you can place your feet on here, relax for however long you're going to rest for, and then go right back on it again. So that's something that you can do with the pegs. So pegs are made of metal, super durable, and I think, yeah, they're twisted into there, so they're not welded in. So that's one thing. But like I said, the frame, all made of metal, so it won't really break on you. Then the fan pieces inside are also made of metal, so that's another thing. They're kind of tilted at an angle, so they kind of do that fan motion, so they're not just cutting through the air and not getting much out of it. They're kind of tilted a little bit, so I think it's tilted enough to where it's not super hard to push, but also it's not super easy. So I think that's a good medium on the way they are tilted in for that piece. But we'll move on to the monitor next. So I'll bring the camera a little bit closer, show you the features on the monitor, and then also kind of how the handles work. Okay, so a little bit about the monitor. A few things you can do. So if you want to just start, just press the start button and it'll start going. So you can see the timer at the top starting to go. And then if I were to start this up, you'll kind of see your distance right up here, and then also watts right down here, calories right there, and then kilometers right here, so your speed, so how fast you're going. But that's just your start menu. You can stop and then reset if you want to do that. Then you could also do programs. So programs, this is basically intervals, so you can just choose how many intervals you want to do. Let's say let's do 4, enter. This would be your working time. So if it's 10 seconds, right up there, you'll press enter, and then your resting time. So if I say 10 seconds right there, resting time, and then start. And it'll count you down, and then it goes. So for 10 seconds, you're gonna go. It tells you which interval you're on, and then it'll just, once the time is up, 3, 2, 1, you'll then stop, rest, and it'll take you down 10 seconds, and then it'll start you again. So that's how, that's probably the only other feature about the monitor, is that it does intervals. So you can stop it and then press start again. But it does tell you your calories, watts, speed, distance, time, and then this is your interval stuff. And then if you want, you can hook up a Bluetooth heart rate monitor. So you'll have to make sure it's compatible with this. So you can keep track of your heart rate right there if you want to do that as well. But that's pretty much all there is on the monitor. It's pretty basic. There's definitely other monitors out there that they're way more complex, but I like it because it's simple. You don't have to learn all these different things and keep looking back in the manual. So moving on to the handles. So the handles right here, they're just pretty much made of rubber, just like if you watch my video on the rower, same basic thing. Rubber coating right here on this part, so easy to grip, smooth, and easy to hold on to. Don't have to worry about slipping or anything like that. But handles, same thing, real easy, nothing much to them, real simple, nothing complex or anything. Fortunately, it does not have the heart rate monitor from here. So like other machines that they have that little metal heart rate monitor piece, this one does not. But again, if you want to have the heart rate monitor, you can just hook it up and you'll see it right there, right? All right, then the last thing is just going to be the seat. Seat made of foam, squishy. I wouldn't say it's the most comfortable seat in the world, but you can also add things on for the seat part, all right, to make it a little bit more comfortable this way. But it's comfortable enough. If you're not going to be on it for too long, then there's no problem with it. Like I said, I mean, it is a little bit squishy, so it's not too bad or anything. But again, you can move it up, down, or like forward, backwards, basically up and down. You can do any one of those. It can tilt to the side a little bit. I think once you undo the bottom piece right here, it'll tilt side to side a little bit, but not too much. All right. Okay, so that is the Xebex Air Bike review. All right. Again, it's a super durable bike. I've used it I don't know how many times, over 200 times. Gone all out and rested and all those things, so it hasn't broke down at all. Nothing's broke down at all, actually. Whole thing pretty much is made of metal. A few things made of plastic, but it's not going to break down on you or anything like that. So real good bike. I like it. I enjoy it. It's a good workout. So if you're just trying to get a really good workout in, it's a great piece of equipment to do so. Monitor is really basic. Nothing much to it. Handles, real easy to grip, and then pedals and handles are connected, so once you start pedaling, there's no like jolt or anything like that you have to go on, and it's real smooth on the pedaling. So again, so once you start going, it starts going. No little tiny jolt or anything like that. So that's a pretty cool thing. Seat moves back and forth, up and down. You can move it with the wheels right in front. You can also adjust it if you're on an uneven surface. So those are kind of pretty good features. Pedals, again, they have a rubber thing on both sides, so you can spin them either side, and your feet won't really move. That could probably be some things that people are concerned about, but your feet definitely won't move as you get on and off of this thing. So that's something pretty good. And then it also is chain based, so it's not from a fan belt. All right, so the fan belt, I know on the Schwinn bike it broke so many times on me. So whenever I try to go all out, this one is a chain, so real easy. This is also really easy to put together. It takes like 30 minutes tops. There's not really too much to it. It's just bolting things in and putting them together. So it's a simple assembly that you can do. Anybody can do it, and they have directions, and it does not take too much time at all. All right, so that's my full review of the Xebex Air Bike. So be sure to like and subscribe, and then share if you found this useful. Also visit my website, hometraininggym.com. You'll find more reviews, also different exercises and workouts and things like that. So be sure to visit there, and until next time.